Hello, guys, and welcome to our first official podcast episode. This series will include myths, spirits, demons, hauntings, and any legends we can get our hands on. I'm Tristen.
I'm Courtney.
All right, Nathan.
I'm Cameron.
I wonder how long we're gonna go until until it's not weird anymore.
Until it's not weird.
So,
It's gonna be weird for a while.
so first off, how are you guys? How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. Just some gaming stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thinking about ghost hunting this weekend.
Yeah. So, Nate, how is that going? I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I can't really say much on it, but there's
Right.
some exciting stuff that's coming along.
Nice. Well, how are you, Courtney?
Oh, good. I'm just like,
So, what were you doing before you came in here?
working.
Working?
Yeah.
On what?
Some digital stuff.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
Okay.
some Twitch stuff
Tristan
for
doesn't know
somebody.
what you do.
Yeah, I don't know what you do, so.
Oh, I'm a digital artist. I do a bunch of different stuff. Mainly for patterns for seamless files that go for fabric. And like overlays and stuff for streaming stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Basically, she's doing what we learned in high school.
Yeah. Well, I'm too lazy to do it.
Yeah, right.
So
That's why she's there.
So Cameron, how about you tell us? Actually, before you tell us where you're investigating and why you're investigating where you are this week, and I guess introduce the topic of the episode, and that'll
Yeah.
actually roll over into why we were going to investigate this weekend.
Exactly.
There was a crooked man who walked a crooked mile. He found a crooked sixpence upon a crooked stile. He bought a crooked cat who caught a crooked mouse. They all lived together in a little crooked house. But the crooked man was sad, and once he had a thought, why should he be crooked when others they were not? Everything was worthless. He heard a great big sigh. He went and found a rope and tied it to the sky. Upon a chair he stood, his eyes were blank and dead. Without another thought, he went and hung his head. Now the story's not yet over, for this tale is myth-eyed and old. Go hide under the cover, there's something not yet been told. There once was a crooked man who had a crooked smile, and if you lived his life, he'd send you through a trial. He lives in your torment, makes it full of strife, and he won't be content until you take your life.
Yeah.
God, I love that poem.
Yeah. So, Cameron, now you can tell everyone where and why you're investigating.
So we're investigating the house again. And the reason for this is because Courtney and Colby have had some experiences here. And me and Tristen realized afterwards all these experiences started happening once we started researching the Cricket Band and we read the poem out loud. And it doesn't stop there because of that. The beginning of this all started with that like female voice we heard one night, Tristen.
Yeah, so
That's the thing.
just for context, because I'm sure people that are viewing a podcast probably hasn't seen our other content before. So we're New
Yeah.
England paranormal researchers, and we basically just do a bunch of investigations. Our most recent one was at the Conjuring House, but a few ones before that, we actually investigated our own house because some weird things were happening. Even before we went to the Conjuring House, nothing was happening for quite a long time. And then we started the Legends podcast and everything. And when we started to try to research some topics we could do, we came up with the Crooked Man. And we actually started researching it. And one time Cameron actually said the poem out loud. And then a bunch of paranormal stuff started happening at our house.
That
Yeah,
doesn't surprise
it's
me.
all my fault. It always is.
And there was
Um,
one night, because me and Cameron actually do the same stuff for work. We were coming home one night. I remember being outside and we were walking inside. And before we got through our gate, I heard a female voice come from on the other side of the car. And I remember just not paying attention to it because I hear things sometimes. But then Cameron pointed it out to me, saying, "Did you hear that?" And I said, "Yeah, that sounded like, was it a woman?" And he was like, "Yeah, it sounded like Cam." Like, it sounded like she was saying Cam.
we decided to get inside at that point because I wasn't dealing with that shit.
Yo, when was that you guys said the poem out loud?
Oh,
for
it
the
was
first
weeks ago.
Like 2 weeks ago, maybe.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks
Yeah?
ago. Yeah, why? Why, Nate?
That's when my dad saw the figure.
What figure?
What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
He was. Yeah, so he was telling me
Please.
we have 2 pellet stoves in our house, well, a big one and a little small one in our actual living room.
Yeah.
He said he was putting pellets in, and he felt like something was right behind him, and he quickly did a glance like this, not like full body turn around, but he said he looked like this. And you know that shelf he has, that giant shelf of very collectibles that he has in the other living room.
Oh, that sounds
I think
familiar.
I remember.
I
Yeah.
think, yeah.
He said he saw a semi-smaller, full-on black figure right behind him. And then he looked back, and then he looked back like that again, and he was just gone.
So you want to know the crazy thing, Nate?
Yeah.
Someone has been seeing figures lately.
Mm.
Was it you or Colby?
I saw something
One
at
of-
the end of the hallway.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it was Colby.
Colby might have seen one too, but
I-
I saw one at the end of the hallway. It scared the living shit out of me because I thought it was you. And I was like, wait, you're not home though.
Didn't you? You guys also you had the interaction with Tank, the dog.
Yeah, because we were in the bedroom. I was in the bedroom laying down in the dark. And Colby was at work on his way home, and Tank's ears went up. He growled and started barking at the door. I thought, oh, maybe it's somebody there. I opened the door, no one's there. I look around the house, and I was like, nobody's here. What is he seeing?
That's funny.
Yes, it's very. And I pointed out to Tristen before. That's the that used to be the most active room when we were haunted the first time. Because that's where we held all the computers and everything before it became Colby's room. That's where the Ouija boards were.
Yeah, so the room that I'm in right now, we have a bunch of electricity running through it.
Yeah.
And we used to have it in where they're staying now. So, good luck.
Yeah, that's okay. I've had plenty of interactions with entities and stuff.
Which is
Especially as
one
a
of the
child.
reasons. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I looked at Tristen before we started and was like, let's invite Courtney. She has many interesting stories.
Yeah. And so we're doing this podcast episode about the Crooked Man. We were going to do it anyways, but we're going to do an investigation at her house this weekend. And if we get anything, it'll go up on the YouTube channel. But...
Nate, you're welcome to come down.
Thank you. I might take you up on that.
Well, we're also going to play Lethal Company this weekend.
But
So what exactly is some of your paranormal experiences?
Well, my dad was a paranormal investigator forever ago, and he happened to investigate a lady's home and bring not 1, but 4 spirits home with him. And one of them was a little girl that scared the living shit out of me and my sister because we were in our computer room kind of set up like this. In the door, I had glanced over, saw a figure peeking, and then all of a sudden I heard footsteps running through the living room. It scared me. I got up, I was like, did you see that, to my other sister? And she's like, no. And then later she saw the same thing I saw, and I was like, see, I'm not going crazy. And then my dad came home, and we were like, you didn't come home by any chance and try to scare us? He goes, no, nobody was home. And then another one would be the little girl my dad caught on a recording. This is, do you want to play with me? You hear, well, here you go. You hear the fish tank, and then all of a sudden the fish tank goes dead, and all you hear is, do you want to play with me? And I'm like, oh my God.
You know, it's actually funny that you say that, because what I think, so usually what we do on our investigations is our equipment can pick up EVPs. And we usually enhance the audio in the editing software. I'm wondering if we should enhance the audio of this podcast when I go to edit it.
Might as well.
might as well see if there's anything talking to you.
I would be willing and totally down to listen to the whole podcast. With this thing.
You never know what you'll catch.
Yeah.
We'll just catch
So
something.
maybe
that's in that.
we'll catch something and they'll be like, that's not real. They put that
No,
in there.
no,
They
no,
edited
no,
it.
But yeah. Tristen, why did you pick the Crooked Man, by the way?
It was actually a suggestion from my girlfriend.
Oh.
Because so my girlfriend has been actually watching, well, she watches a bunch of our videos anyways, but she also listened to a test episode of the Boogeyman, and I think I was driving her home and I was talking to her to see like, is there any topics that she'd actually want us to do, that she thinks would be interesting, and she said the Crooked Man, and that's when I was like, we should definitely do the Crooked Man because that's I'm interested in. I just completely forgot that he was even a thing.
I forgot he was a thing.
What?
I forgot he was a thing until you mentioned it.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the Crooked Man? Before I say anything about him.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
It's so. The only other time he's ever mentioned in media or something, the last time was during it was Conjuring 2, was the movie. That's the last time he was in it, and before that, he was in the a Telltale game. That was about it. That's the only reason I know what the Crooked Man is.
I think that's like the one like kind of entity like I'm not like the most familiar on.
Yeah.
I don't know much about him except from the movie.
Yeah. Well, I didn't believe in him. I guess until recently. Well, I don't know if he's real, but I know that I guess it posed some kind of something. I don't know. It was just weird coincidence.
Could be an entity trying to scare us when
Probably.
they realize
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But alright, let me open up my little thingy over here.
Oh, that also reminds me, since we've talked about the what's happening in the house, something also has been like grabbing at my blanket at times in my room at night. So that's fun.
Well, now I don't feel too alone on that because I always thought it was your brother. And because he was,
I'm just kidding. It's me.
he turns around and faces the wall and sleeps, and I'm always like, you stop touching me, and he's like, eh. I'm like, are you not even touching me?
No, it's weird. It's grabbing like the blanket at the top and like trying to pull it. It's like wait where like I cover up my neck, and it just tries like to pull it down.
Doing a bodyguard.
And your face your face was like what?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's happened recently.
What has that been happening to you?
Mainly with uncovering my feet, and I always keep thinking it was your brother or Colby or.
Dang.
Well, now we know Colby has a foot fetish. Clip it! Clip it!
What that?
I clip it and make
Man,
it
I'm
TikTok.
dead.
Him.
Man, I'm dead.
Yeah.
It's so weird because I haven't had any paranormal stuff that's been really happening to me. The only time I've actually had stuff paranormal happen was when you were around, Cameron.
Yeah,
like
magnet for that stuff.
like the night when we were coming in the house when we both heard that female. I just don't really have any paranormal that happens to me at the house.
No, I think it leaves you alone because it knows that you won't like be scared of it, or you'll be like, okay, yeah, there is something here, and then just go back to what you were doing.
Yeah, I usually don't pay attention to that. But also, I feel like if it tried to scare me, I think it knows that I'm that type of person that I could just go and buy sage and fuck it up.
Yeah. The only other time you ever had an interaction, I think, was when the third room used to be the media room, and it was just so uncomfortable in there every time you were editing, or every time someone was alone in there. It was always you were being watched.
That one, I will say, actually did scare me because I was editing our investigations, which is already a little spooky, and then just having that presence behind you while you're editing is like, well, I'm gonna go lay down. I don't want to edit.
It just every time I played games in there by myself, it would just be there watching, and I'm like, well,
I felt that a little bit when like in the morning, sometimes I would wake up at like 9 and I would go on the computer, and it was almost like I was disturbing that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like almost like he was sleeping in there and I woke him up. And so I just felt like it wasn't like dark, but I felt like a presence there. I was like,
Kinda like
I'm gonna sit here. This is my time, bitch.
It was
Mhm.
always an uneasy feeling in there. Like,
Yeah.
not unless you were in there with someone else, then
Mhm.
it was like, oh, the presence lessens. But when you're in there by yourself, it was like full on uneasiness.
Yeah, that's what kind of that kind of threw me off, especially at the Conjuring house when we were doing the Legends episode, because we were both there, Cameron, and we both
It was.
felt that I felt like more uneasy than I've ever felt.
I wanted to just run out of there. I need you to know that. That's why I kind of rushed and was looking down. I wanted to get out. I
Yeah, that
couldn't stay
was.
down there.
Mm.
That was. It was just. They left the house. Nate and everyone else left the house at that point, and I was like, I really don't want to be in here because I
Mhm.
mentioned it, and I'm like, I mentioned it to you. I'm like, they just left the house, and they're walking away, and like it just hit me full force of I don't want to be in that room anymore.
Mhm.
Nate would have been all for it and stayed in that room.
Oh yeah, I probably would have.
Because he's a brave guy that doesn't get bothered by anything.
To be honest, I probably could have stayed down there all by myself for a while.
Yeah,
you
but
guys
we
wanted
would
me
have
to.
let you.
Well,
But still,
no
think of
one
the
would- no one
activity.
would, they said they said there's like there is a dark presence in that house, but like, it's just no, we would not. I would not gonna allow anyone to stay by themselves anywhere in that house, so we won't know what was gonna happen.
No.
I'll have to go back there sometime, maybe in the future.
That would be awesome. Go back to a future investigation,
Mhm. Mhm.
see if any of it remembers us.
Mm-hmm. Maybe do like a daytime kind of.
I don't
thing
think
as
they
well.
would. Well, I think they would like maybe vaguely remember us because there's people
No.
going there all the
People
time.
go there all the time, and some of the spirits are, as I said, residual, so they're doing their job during the day and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Well, onto the topic.
yeah. Onto the
Perfect. So
Courtney's
Also, watch when we start talking about him. Stuff's gonna happen.
that would be
Right.
funny.
I keep expecting a hand to come behind Cameron and just touch him.
Or you just see like a
No, get that
Yes.
down there.
So the Crooked Man is said to be a vengeful spirit that attacks those who despair. Supposedly saying his nursery rhyme out loud will summon him. The Crooked Man will show himself to the person that read it aloud. The Crooked Man will then bring the person hardships physically, emotionally, and mentally till they are driven to suicide. The Crooked Man doesn't like people that remind him of himself but are still happy, and the Crooked Man will then attack those people physically instead of mentally.
I just looked up an image, and that's quite a dude.
No,
So
you see
there's two main images that you'll find. There's one that is from The Conjuring House to The Conjuring 2.
Mm.
And he has like a hat with glasses on top of the hat, and he looks pretty scary with like the sharp teeth and stuff. Then you'll find an image of just a random guy with his neck.
I see. Yeah, it's just a guy, and his
Completely-
neck's just like.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's
Yeah.
actually from a RPG Maker game that is actually pretty good. But
I
so
could play.
for the appearance, and let me know if this sounds familiar, Courtney.
Okay.
Cool. So, as the Crooked Man, he appears to be a scrawny and abnormally thin humanoid male, wielding a tattered umbrella with a withered dark red striped shirt and pants, along with a small black fedora. I think this is describing the Conjuring, so it's probably not going to be accurate. But
Mhm.
his legs
I
are
thought the,
misshapen. What?
I thought the Conjuring was the pinstripe one.
I don't know. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is a small black fedora, so maybe it's not.
Yeah,
'Cause
that's
the
what I
one in the
thought.
movie he's wearing red, right?
Yeah, he's wearing
Yeah.
red pinstripes.
So his legs are misshapen and bent crudely as a result of a terrible accident or disease. His most frightening feature, however, is his wide, monstrous grin, showing off rotten, sharp teeth and a deadly or deathly pale skin. He also seems to have round rimmed glasses that are stationed on the top of his fedora.
Well, I could see why she thought the figure was you. I mean, have seen your pale skin?
I'm very pale, but
Yeah, you-
what-
No, it was,
it was
slightly
black, though,
tall.
right?
Yeah, it was like a dark. Well, if you're standing at the end of the hallway here, it's dark down there. Whenever the lights are off, it's like a dark figure, a little bit taller than you, and like it looked like he just peered around the corner. Scared the shit out of me though.
Well, it's not Michael then.
Would this
Not
figure
Michael.
be a
Michael-
little bit smaller than me, do you think?
That's creepy.
Like you just peered around the corner, and I like closed that door so fast.
Well, so a little bit of
Hmm.
history about our house, just for the listeners, is we used to have a spirit in our house by the name of Michael, and he was like a 7-foot figure. But this doesn't sound like him at all.
No, because it was like a little bit taller than you, but like a little bit taller than Colby as well. I was like, this.
Oh,
Terrifying.
so it was about Nate tall, basically.
Maybe a little bit smaller.
Maybe. I was like, all I know is I saw it from down at the end of the hallway. It like peered around the corner, and I was like, okay, and I'm done.
I
Because
kind
that's
of don't like that.
terrifying.
Back in the room I
I
go.
don't like that too,
But like
especially
going
because
back to the whole thing of feeling uneasy in that bedroom, like I do not like it's super uneasy in there.
Really?
A little bit still,
Phil?
but like
really?
not terrible. But like it's like somebody's watching you.
Man,
Kinda-
we need to
Like
get
Huh.
I normally could sleep in until noon, but like recently I've been getting up at like 9 because I feel like somebody's watching me sleep.
I kind of don't
Good
like that
alarm.
only because I
Yeah.
don't like that.
I'm
Because
like laying there and I was like, something is watching me. I was like, oh, maybe it's Cameron just fucking with me. No, nobody is there. It just feels uncomfortable.
I was fucking
like-
with you, you'd have a tick drawn on your
And like
forehead.
Tank gets up and like moves to the other side of me, and I'm like, what is happening here? I was like, this is super uncomfortable.
So
Yeah.
there
usually
was
is.
Cameron told me about the dog.
Yeah.
was growling?
Oh, I have never seen Tank growl. Like this was worse than him growling when Cameron comes to the door to grab him. This was like a I'm gonna kill you kind of growl
Mhm.
and bark.
Yeah,
Like he was
This is-
like the fur on the back of his neck was standing up, and I was like, okay, he sees something, but I don't see anything.
What time was this?
It was like 3:30. You guys were already at work.
Oh, so it was like afternoon stuff.
Yeah.
We were gone. We were gone.
I like didn't I
This is
had happened to have to look at my phone because I thought maybe it was one of you guys outside the door. No, it was like it's 3:30. There's no way either of them are home. I would have heard one of them. And like 2 nights ago, somebody was running down this hallway. You guys were still at work. I was like, this some shit.
Some bullshit.
I don't know where this entity came from though.
I have no idea.
Unless it came from the undisclosed location.
possible. It's pretty close.
You know,
Could've
you
been
did
from
piss
that
off
place.
the doctor in that one, Cameron.
No, I pissed off something else. The doctor came and fixed me up.
I kind of don't like that.
I'm like, now if I think about it, there was one at my parents' house. There was 2. Well, one of them was my
Don't be-
grandfather. We figured out one of them was my grandfather, but there was one, and I don't know if my grandma has seen him recently, but he was about that
shit.
height. But he
Courtney,
isn't
why do you
one-
gotta bring stuff?
Okay, now listen. He's
Well,
not like
Cameron,
it's
you
weird.
brought stuff.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm not saying it is, but I'm like, it would make sense for his height and the peering over the corners, because that's a lot of what he did. But nothing's gone, like, missing.
No,
What?
we're gonna.
Yeah, what is
We're
going on
gonna-
with your camera?
I have no idea.
And the reason I say this is because when he was at my grandma's house, he'd move things. At our parents' house, he'd move things. He'd pick it up and move it. But I haven't seen anything go missing here yet. So
I mean,
don't
I
know.
found the bag. I found the bag of socks I had all over the floor, coming out of my room.
When was that?
What?
This was a one night with Colby. He was like, "Why do you have your socks out of your room?" And I look in, and the bag that I got at Thanksgiving for Christmas was dumped.
Okay, I know I didn't do that. And Tank,
Apparently,
wherever I ever
Apparently there
Tank's
is a
at,
fetish going
basically. That stuff was
You,
weird.
you cut out there.
Any chance you're missing a pair of socks?
I don't know.
I'm missing many
uh,
socks. I don't know.
I
where
don't,
they're
I, don't,
going.
I don't know. I never
ghost
noticed. when
fish
I-
fetish confirmed.
I never ghost fish fetish confirmed. That's great, Nate. I never noticed my pair of socks go missing
I was
because
like,
the
"Oh,
dryer.
if
I'm gonna be
anything
dead
is
by
morning.
missing, like anything you like or value goes missing, then it's most likely something I brought.
No,
I kinda-
well, because I've been losing a lot of my black shirts, but I've just chalked it up to, oh, I guess I'm just doing laundry, and maybe they think that it's theirs or something, because it's a black shirt, it's not identifiable. So
Yeah.
it's like, oh, whatever, I'll just get more.
Well, usually when you do laundry, you kind of do it and then just throw it back in your basket.
I know, that's what bugged me about it, because I was like, where the fuck are all my black shirts
Where would
going?
they go? Because they usually
Yeah,
don't
that
get
doesn't
thrown
make
back.
sense.
I'm not even worried, I'm just upset about it.
I was like, because I am.
that I
keeping-
have to get more of those.
When you had stuff in the dryer, I put it all back in your bag and brought it to your room.
Yeah,
Colby does
yeah.
the same thing. I was like, nobody touched any black shirts, so maybe they're going missing.
Funny. Well, shit, something likes to steal from us. Or the dryer is just a portal somewhere else and it's stealing our clothes.
That could be it too, you know?
Listen, it happens with socks.
There's
Okay.
just the fucking hobo on the other side of the wall that opens his thing and takes it out.
Jesus.
Oh.
Hey, that's
No.
even funnier because the other side of the wall is the shower.
Oh.
He's coming in through the shower!
Oh, God.
If anyone needs anything haunted, there's a mirror at my house. Enjoy.
No, we are not.
We're not
no,
doing that.
no. We're,
Not
one of
doing
us
that.
is afraid of
I like
reflection.
mirrors.
It's a haunted mirror. As long as it stays covered, nothing can come through it. It's up to
I
the
Can I,
portal.
can I be
Uh,
covered underneath the mirror?
Go ahead.
Can I
That's
be
the problem.
tied to the mirror? This guy's a weird fetish.
I think it's
That
just-
mirror reflective footage.
I want to, and I know I've said this. I want to go investigate that mirror next time I'm up there.
Yeah,
Wait, let's get what?
it's a very haunted mirror. It was my grandma's. It is still hers. It is currently sitting in our garage covered. So they said if you break it, anything that comes through it's stuck on this side, and they're not happy spirits, not at all. Because when my dad was a child, one of them took him by the front of his shirt, lifted him, and threw him against the wall.
Well, have you guys tried to get rid of it somehow?
No church. Churches have tried.
I mean the mirror.
The mirror, you cannot.
Yeah,
you
no, they
cannot.
tried to give it to
You
us.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Colby's.
They tried to give it
Oh,
to
I
us.
see.
Burn it in hell.
So I
That's
thought
the
it was gonna
haunted
be
mirror.
like you were giving it away, but it keeps coming back. But no, it's like no
No.
one wants it.
Nobody wants
Yeah.
it.
No, it's the
and-
mirror that I looked at you, Tristan.
And
said, I'm gonna go grab a
churches
haunted mirror and put it
will
in your
not
room.
cannot get it to close. It's like a portal to the other side. Very
Don't
angry
worry.
ass spirits. Like they were like,
Me and
just keep it covered. That's all they really could do. They tried saging it, anything possible. If it breaks, it's not going to be a good thing.
don't worry,
You
me
should
and
take
Nick
it to,
make
like-
it close.
I was gonna say you should just take it to like a random woods and just smash it.
No, that's how something.
It just stays there.
Yeah, that's
So-
exactly. Yeah, I agree with
That
Cameron.
actually will not do anything. That'll keep them attached to whoever broke it.
Yeah, because it'll be stuck on the outside of the mirror. Who do you think it's gonna follow?
Horny, can you get a
The
little bit
tree or
closer?
the posting?
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
keep
the
looking out
raccoon
that
that was
side.
next door when it happened.
The raccoon that was next door when it happened.
But yes, the mirror's in the garage, and as it hasn't gone in the house, we refuse to let it go into the house, because if it goes in the house, then there's probably gonna be spirits in there. So whatever's in the garage, it might be haunted. I don't know.
I feel
We
like
have spent
Tristan's
a
gonna
lot of
start
time
staring
here.
at me now about stuff coming in the house.
I really don't give a shit. It doesn't bother
Ouija
me.
board.
So
Ouija board, Tristan.
oh no, we don't do Ouija boards. Yeah.
No, not
Yeah.
I'll get
last
pissed
time.
off if we get an Ouija board in the house.
Well,
Okay,
here's the
Cameron,
thing.
it's
It's under my bed.
Oh,
I'm kidding. I'm
Oof.
kidding.
so we're gonna keep Cameron in the front of the house?
I'm kidding. I don't have. I refuse to get a Ouija board since last time.
That's probably a good choice. Like,
It's for the best.
it's for the best. Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't want to use an Ouija board. Not after last time.
Now, yeah, but that Crooked Man thing is interesting. 'Cause there are multiple appearances of him, different appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever find out anything else about him?
Yeah, I have a whole history. I
Yeah,
didn't know if you guys wanted to hear about that.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
run to the bathroom.
Alright. Well, wait.
Run as fast as
I
you
can't
can.
run. I don't want to knock anything.
Don't
I'm not
worry
gonna
about
lie,
Yeah,
I,
don't run. I have a floor lamp.
Don't worry about the
Yep.
dark shadow figure that's in there.
I'm not gonna lie. If
I'm just glad she didn't hear you.
I almost wonder
Oh,
if that
Cameron.
I almost wonder if that spirit that my dad did see probably maybe was something from that house.
I don't want to talk about that. That investigation was fun. There was so that's the actual proof that the ghost box actually works.
Yeah, that was crazy. Nate,
That
did
was
you
real-
record at all in that investigation?
A few things, yeah.
You did?
The main things that I recorded is up there on the thing.
I'm just
Okay.
it's
I have like
Tristan,
a
when you
couple
were
extra,
talking-
but there wasn't really
when you
much.
were talking about me pissing it off. I pissed off some spirit, but then I was like, God, my chest is hurting, and jokingly said, "Is there a doctor here?"
Oh, actually,
And that's when it said, "I'll be there in a few," or something like that. That's how I remember that. I was like, I pissed off something, then the doctor came and it stopped, and then the doctor left.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was awesome.
So I don't know when you guys did say that poem for the first time, but my dad saw it on the 16th.
Bring the dog on camera.
Oh, look at the Doge.
You know
Oh
what
yeah,
we're doing right now?
for the listeners, we actually do have a video, but that's gonna be on our Legends YouTube channel. Unless I don't know how the whole Spotify video thing works, but
I don't. But now Tank's a part of the podcast.
how long will he stay like that?
Not long.
What do you mean?
He just walks away as soon as I say that.
I think he's going to. I think he's going to the media room because he saw Courtney.
Oh,
He's like, I heard that door closed.
Yeah, I think you did.
wait, was he in here before?
No,
Where was he?
he was in the Colby's bedroom.
He's probably laying on the blanket.
Oh my god.
See, he saw Courtney, heard the door close, and knew exactly where she was.
Wouldn't that be funny if you just opened the door there he is just standing there?
Oh my god!
Oh my god.
That would have been funny though. Next thing you know, you open the door, there's a black spirit. Okay, goodbye.
It's like, yeah, you heard my footsteps, didn't you?
Hello, I have the DoorDash order.
All right.
Oh,
No,
I'm such a jerk.
Wait, I want to see how long we have. Okay, so we're 30 minutes in. Do you guys want to get into the history a little bit?
Yeah, let's get into the history of the Cookie Man.
All right. So it's a little bit lengthy, so I'll kind of just pause and whatever, and maybe take a minute break or whatever. But the Crooked Man. Oh,
He's crying at the door.
oh, is he crying at the
Yeah.
door?
Yeah, I heard,
Man.
and I'm like, there we go.
Okay, I was like, he's crying at the door.
I heard him. And I was your ass.
What? Nate?
Yeah, I love you guys.
Okay. So,
Okay.
the Crooked Man, formerly known as Alexander Leslie, is a vengeful spirit that is said to go after those who despair. The crooked style in the poem was the border between England and Scotland. They all lived together in a little crooked house, refers to the fact that the English and the Scots had last come to an agreement. Despite continuing great animosity between the two people, who nonetheless had to live with each other due to their own common border. Being a vengeful spirit, the Crooked Man was once human named Alexander Leslie, and one of the first settlers of the Appalachian Mountains in Virginia. He built his house in an area called the Hurricane. He was also one of the worst men in his lifetime, amassing his fortune from the misery of others, stirring conflict between his fellow settlers and natives tribes. He sold liquor and guns to both sides during both the American Revolution and the Civil War. Things only took a turn for the worst when the townspeople, finally being fed up with his malicious ways, attempted to storm his house and kill him. Leslie was subdued, beaten, then hung, and left for dead in his own house. His fortune was dispersed to the winds, but his name and memory become cursed among the locals. However, because of the impressive record of the sin, the devil, supposedly, sent Leslie back to the mortal world as a demonic soul collector, riddled with negative emotions that he felt before he died. He became a vengeful and a deadly spirit. Now known as the Crooked Man, Leslie recruited the witch Ellie Knob, or Cobb, as his right-hand woman while turning local women into witches and preying on them during the low ebbs of their life. He collected souls in glass jars where they took the appearance of gold coins. He becomes resentful upon seeing anyone that enters his home, immediately disliking them. His spirit haunts the very house that he once resided in and would not hesitate to harm or even call anyone that dares enter his house and make it their own. Moreover, he came to hate certain individuals or family members for being much like himself, but staying happy. He tries to drive them to suicide or kill them personally.
All right. I
Cited
have a,
sources. No. Was it?
I have a problem
Man.
with that one. I've read that one before when you have me do some research. My problem with that is because I went from there to looking up the Wikipedia page for the guy itself.
Yep.
And the thing is, I was like, that's impossible for the Civil War thing because he died way before that.
I don't think I got that one off of Wikipedia.
No, but I went to his name, and then I realized there was multiple people named him and his family.
Oh.
Because the Revolution I could see, the Civil War I could not.
Yeah.
But yeah, history of it is that poem's history is awesome about the general.
Mhm.
Ah,
So how do you guys think about the history?
Pretty nice.
the history is awesome about it. Like the history in these legends, it just proves that to what I say to you that like every like myth and legend always has a truth in history at times that it will connect somewhere, and then you can see where it comes from and why. And I love that about it.
The tank doesn't know what the hell's going on.
Tank's like, what is happening?
He's just getting scratched. But no, it's that's what I think. I love the history of it. Some of it is I think some of it's more fiction than fact with that what you read. But it's amazing because I know the general guy was real
Mm-hmm.
because the first half of the poem was made for against him because he's the one that signed the peace treaty between the two places. And I think the Scots were not happy about that, if I remember correctly from what I read. Don't quote me on that.
Hmm. Do you guys want to go into a segment that we had in the last podcast episode?
Which one was that?
That one was to search up a story.
Ooh, yes.
Do you about do you not have one about the Crooked Man yet?
No, well, the Crooked Man isn't really
No,
like
I
if
would
you can
say-
find any kind of like stories of people claiming to have seen the not the Boogeyman, but
The Crooked Man.
yeah,
Crooked Man?
yeah, the Crooked Man, or any kind of
I,
stories resulting in a large black shadow.
I saw
So just like
one,
Black Shadows?
but it
or-
was like a two-parter thing. I'm like, I'm not gonna put that. I'm not gonna read that. That's so long. Large black shadows.
I love how it's the first thing that autocorrected. I just searched Shadow Man stories, but it autocorrected and started saying Black Shadow Man stories.
It's like the TED joke. Why is every time I'm 2 clicks away from large black dicks?
Oh, I love that. It starts with a Quora post. Why do I keep seeing Black Shadow person?
Come here, Tank.
Why do I see Black Shadow person? Someone goes, well, it all depends on the situation.
Wait, was that Reddit or
Courtney, I have a
That was
question.
Quora.
Yes.
no?
Has the dog been fed this morning?
Yes, he had food. I fed him already.
Okay, you're just by his bowl. It looks like he's just drinking right now. Just wanted to make sure I don't feed him again.
Oh god. Oh wait, no, that's just
Free download.
Yeah. Is it like I'm going through because I looked up Crooked Man spottings and like is this Susan Trott books biographies?
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a bunch of Hatman stories.
I put
Ah.
Shadow Man stories in.
That's creepy as hell.
Hatman's will
Fourth
also
thing that
work.
Fourth thing pops up, podcast@apple.com. Unexpected explains counters. 6 true Shadow Man scary stories.
Hey, we don't promote other channels on here
I
except
know.
for our own.
Ooh.
That was a joke, by
Batman.
the
I
way.
know.
I don't know who else we would promote, anyways.
I'm kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is brought to you by
Coca-Cola. I'm kidding.
This
brought to you by this delicious cup of hot cocoa.
this podcast is brought to you by the Conjuring House mug. Make sure you get one. Well, it doesn't even show up properly, but it says, "Don't fuck with us, or we'll fuck with you." The spirits. I love this mug.
Oh.
I wish he was bringing up the movie and stuff.
The best ones that you'll find is like on Reddit and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Actually, yeah, let's do that.
Reddit is.
Reddit.
I use Reddit to find anything. True or false. That's what I love about it. You never know what you're gonna get.
I found one, I think. Oh wait, no. Yeah, never mind. That is not a story.
Was it a picture of a blah? I knew it. I knew it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this stream is brought to you by.
This stream is brought to you by Old Navy. Huh?
What?
Oh my god. I think I found one. It's a short post, but it's a little story.
Just search Crooked Man Reddit.
Yeah.
I've tried.
guys.
I've tried. Oh my god, there's nothing.
Alright,
I think I found one, but it's very short.
Do it.
Let's go stretch real quick.
That's all about the Conjuring movie.
Right? That's all it brings you back
That's
to.
all
It.
I'm getting. Or Hellboy's The Crooked Man. What?
Yeah, Hellboy.
I
Like
hate
the
the
Hellboy.
Crooked Man. What? Literally.
I found shadow people stuff.
Like,
Listen, I clicked on the first link and I already have a story.
oh, perfect.
Fuck.
You know what? It's okay. Tristan's just really good at technology, guys.
I just decided to do shadow people.
Yeah, I got a shadow person kind of thing.
I'll be back.
Somebody drew him. The hell?
What the hell?
Tank!
Oh my god, the door!
Tank! Oh, you don't want him up.
Nope.
Because
You
he'll jump off and then he'll mess with the cords.
Go lay down.
Lay
Go lay down. Lay down.
Come lay down.
I know, buddy. I know.
Tank, go lay down. He's
Oh,
like,
he likes that.
oh boy. Make him a happy guy.
Tristan's rubbing the dog.
We have an issue. Oh, dog's gay. I was spanking his ass and he liked it.
Tank.
Come here, buddy. He's like, I'm so happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this video is
No,
now
you can't go
sponsored.
up there.
Come on, no, go lay down.
Can't go up there. Come on.
Go
Come
lay
on.
down.
Come on.
You have to drag him.
He has to drag him away from Courtney.
If he could talk right now, he'd be like,
No,
I don't want to go!
Bye, Tank.
You get to see her afterwards.
Yeah. He's like, excuse me. He had to
Oh.
drag his ass.
He's gonna come back on the screen, he's gonna look at the camera and just be like, I'm offended.
I am deeply offended. Why did it
Someone share their story.
Well, I had a good story and realized that it's like 3 pages long. So
I found that was 3 pages long, and I said, "Fuck that," because there's
Yeah.
a part 2 to it too.
Mine
There's another post they have that's a part 2 of it.
yeah, it's like a verse 2 and
Yeah. All right, Nate, you want to do your shadow people story?
It's kind of short, but I can do it if you want me to.
Mine's short too. That's the thing.
So somebody asked on Reddit if anyone actually had like paranormal like seen shadow figure kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's one person named Jenny replied saying, as a child, there was every little night where a line of them were standing in the hallway in our trailer. I knew that they were wanting to get on the get into the next place, the room next door. There were a bunch of train tracks and abandoned mini train carts around this person's area when they lived there. They would sometimes turn and look in my door from one of the actual abandoned carts. And once, apparently, one of them came and picked them up, from within their bed, actually, physically picking them up. They asked if I wanted to go with them, and I firmly said no, and put them down. After that, they made eye contact with me and just walked away, and haven't seen any of them since.
Huh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but apparently that is one of the stories.
All right.
Apparently, there's this guy that I'm seeing on Reddit that, I guess he's just been seeing shadow people since he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
It's not scary, but it's a story.
Yeah, I have one. I have one right here. Too.
Is that
You
one
want me
scary?
to go? Not scary, but it describes what we've seen before.
Alright, I'll go ahead and, because mine's the same exact thing, I'll just go first. I was probably 5 or 6 years old when I first saw them. If you're unaware of what shadow people are, first off, you're lucky. But to explain, they're tall, skinny, featureless black shadows that wear no clothes, have no hair, nothing at all. I grew up in the town of Oceanside, California, and lived there most of my life. It's believed that shadow people linger in one place and will not follow you. I would see them here often. They weren't just in my house, but they were on the streets. The most common encounter I had was with the man at the end of the bed. I slept at the top of the bunk bed with my sister, and I shared. And I would often turn my head to see him. He was fairly tall, almost reaching my bunk, around 6. Shadow people do not speak, but they do look. And when they see you, they're gone. If they notice you see them, they're gone. I like to believe they're shy. They're not harmful creatures, and nothing strange ever happened aside from their presence being there. They never tampered with animals, humans, or objects. In fact, animals didn't see them. Not everyone does. Most of the time, the man at the end of the bed just looked around in a very swift movements, but it still felt like they were moving. But it still felt like they moved in pictures. Almost every time I saw him, he would vanish nearly immediately. There was one time, though, where my eyes would meet where his would be. That was astonishing to a 9 or 10-year-old. I was driving down the street one day and I saw another. This one was the most clear shadow person I've ever seen. A woman, I think, in a brown coat was walking, and suddenly there was a shadow person. It followed her steps before vanishing. I only saw the woman turn the corner in the other direction before we drove off. That was the only time I recall having seen another one actually move, walk, or run. I've actually seen them probably 50 times more. I moved into a rental in Idaho when I was 11 and a half and lived in a house in Washington since I was 12 and a half. I haven't seen them since California. Has anyone else seen them? I can't be alone.
All right. This guy says, in his experience, they seem sinister, but not malevolent. It was a few years ago, but I remember seeing something move, looking to see what it was, and seeing a figure that was vaguely human, but the proportions were all wrong. The head was too small, the legs were too short, and the arms and neck were way too long. And before anyone says it was a low light hallucination, it was in a well lit room in the middle of the day. It froze for a second, then slinked along the wall and disappeared behind my bookshelf. That was this guy's experience of seeing one.
Do you have anything?
No.
I saw her look up the Crooked Man, and that was it. I was like, I'm only getting the Crooked Man. And like, yeah, I guess why.
Listen, I've looked up multiple things for it, and the only story I found was the one Tristen found. But it was so long, and there was a second part to it, and I'm like, I'm not reading.
That'd be
through
funny if you
this.
actually read the second part.
The second part was talking. It was definitely someone wrote a story, 'cause none of that was real.
Yeah, it didn't
It
seem
was
real.
it was definitely like
A
he
fan
was
fiction thing.
yeah, talking to a because at the end of it, it was like you should talk about with your mom when and like the beginning of it was the second one was my mom came to talk to me about what I've been seeing and that she's been seeing it too and that yada yada yada. She knows what it is, but she won't tell me. And I'm like, bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, but
well,
yeah,
well, how old was he?
I don't know how old
Because
the guy was.
some mothers would actually rather not tell their children because it might scare them more.
Yeah. You okay there, sir?
He's sad and he's
Dog.
angry at you.
Dog?
He's mixed sad.
He wants to go
You
back.
took him away.
He's being rubbed.
Okay.
He's happy. But no, shadow people love them. I agree with the one I read. They're not sinister, but some of them can be malevolent. But they're always gone once you see them.
Yeah. Well, so the one, because you used to see Michael, Cameron. How long did you see him for?
Quite a bit. But his was like different.
How so?
His was that he wanted to show himself.
Oh.
Was his thing. And it was the same thing about the bed. He'd just be in the corner of my room at times, just looking at me instead.
So when you would look at him, he wouldn't disappear?
No, he'd stay there. He'd just look some more. He'd disappear later on after a few minutes.
Yeah, that's an
So-
interrogation tactic.
Yeah, but he'd just stay there, just looking over me.
So he
Sometimes
just-
he'd be like right on the end of the bed, looking up and over me.
He wants to steal your soul.
Yep.
Well, that
Probably-
motherfucker left, so it was
Yeah.
unsuccessful.
Yeah,
he
he
was,
did.
motherfucker left. He was either very successful or very unsuccessful. I don't
Yeah,
know
this
if I have
isn't
a
Cameron.
soul
We're talking to
for-
Michael right now.
Yeah. Oh no, I stole Cameron's soul.
He hung around with us for a while and he was like, nope, I'm good.
Fucking met Nate and then decided to leave.
Yeah.
He's like, how could this get any worse? Hello?
He went home with Nate one night.
That was
and
actually
came back.
that's actually so true because we like it was after the Conjuring House and Nate had an experience and I think we talked about it on our test episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
And then after that, I didn't really hear much about anything else. So that fucker must have went to Nate for one night and then was like, "Fuck this shit," because Nate kept on going outside to film it. And
Yeah,
he's like,
that's
"I'm
good.
gone."
Going to
You
film
should have
it.
milked
He's
the
like,
content.
"Fuck this shit."
I just like, oh, it was so funny too, because that morning I had one thing happen, and then after
Yeah.
that it was just nothing.
Like,
Well,
oh,
until my
fuck,
dad
trying to
saw
film
that figure
me.
that he saw, but
Yeah,
that's not really my experience, that's more his.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've all had some experiences. More so, some of us than Tristen.
What do you say about the people that haven't had any experiences?
Go stunt, you'll have
You
one.
should, you should find
Well,
him.
no, not completely, because I recently saw a video where this guy was a complete skeptic, and he was saying, how every single time he views like a video online about it, like there's always something that happens, and there's never a video where nothing happens. And then and then when I heard him say that, I'm like, motherfucker, you're so stupid, because if nothing happens, why would you upload that shit to YouTube?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's more so if you're a skeptic to get with like a group that goes and ask to go with them and see if you can have an experience or not.
Yeah.
There's no like place where you'll absolutely there's maybe some places where you'll absolutely have an experience, but it won't be
Yeah, because one of the things he
one-
stated
it will be
was
one you can write off that it's not paranormal. But if you go with a group somewhere, you're more than likely gonna get something, and you
Yeah.
won't be able to explain.
Yeah, because one of his big things was like he's never seen anything, and he's even tried the whole like
Yep.
ghost hunting thing. But I think I don't know why, but I guess it's only for some people that they're very active with. So they're not very active with me. But they're active. They're very active with Cameron.
Yeah, dude. Every time we go to Highbridge, great. Highbridge happens, and then I get all emotional afterwards.
I know Nate went alone.
Nate went alone. That
for a few
crazy-
hours.
Yeah.
Probably
Why?
Probably for the biggest mistake I ever done.
Yeah, and then you came back, and me and Colby
I'd do
went
it again,
with you. Me and Colby went with you afterwards, and that was when we had SLS camera.
Dude, I wish I
That
still
was-
had that footage because the look on your face when you saw a figure riding on Cameron on Colby's back.
Piggybacking on Colby's back. And then there was the
Have you
voice
not
that-
heard of this?
No.
You haven't heard of this?
No.
This was
So
creepy.
motherfucking Nate went to Highbridge alone, and the only reason why was because we didn't want to go with him. He just wanted to go on an investigation, so he went by himself to one of the most haunted places we've ever been.
Oh my god.
For the people that are listening, Highbridge is a suicide spot. And every single time we go there, it's like a fishing spot, and we don't think anyone's really investigated there before, because when we go there, a lot of shit happens, like it's the first time talking to living people. And fucking Nate went there alone for a few hours, and he said it was boring, so he came back.
I had a few stuff happen, but not much.
Yeah, and
me
so
and
he
Colby
came back to the house, and he actually got Cameron and Colby, and they went. I didn't go with them. I didn't feel like going to Highbridge, because at this point, we were always going to Highbridge, and I was like, we should just give them space. So I didn't go, but the three of them went. And I swear to God, when they came back, they were there for, 10, 15 minutes before they left.
20. It was.
Oh my god.
And when I reviewed the footage that happened, it was insane because Colby was extremely terrified in the kind of forest area there. And when I enhanced the audio, I just kept on hearing, "Hey Colby, look over here," stuff like that. Like it was like trying to target Colby.
Oh.
And then when you caught the figure on Colby's back, you did not want to tell Colby.
I didn't
just
tell
the look on
Colby.
your face.
I told Nate. We got out. I stopped Nate and was like, "Dude, you saw that look on my face. Something is on Colby's back."
I've never seen a more like shit like face shock like you had.
And I
when you
didn't
saw
tell
that.
Colby because if Colby freaks out some more, that can cause an attachment
Yeah.
to it. It'll start feeding off him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I
And
didn't tell him. But then we heard the voice of across the way where Colby was gone. Colby, come over here. And we're like, Colby, don't.
Don't follow the voice. Don't
In
follow the
fucking
voice.
car.
It was one of the things where like I didn't actually even want to release the video because people would think that it was fake because of so much shit happened.
So much shit.
Oh,
It was
Yeah.
targeting
Jesus.
Colby.
We didn't
The
even
entire
want to have the dilemma of people being like, "Oh, this is fake." We just like,
But that look on my face was fucking priceless. I never usually have that.
yeah, and we couldn't even record on the SLS because of how stupid it was. So that
No,
was like playing a factor into I don't want to upload it because people be like, "Well, where's the footage?" Right? So
Yeah, we need to get a new tablet for the SLS.
Yeah.
Basically. One that can hold OBS and everything. Hey
should talk
Courtney,
to
you want to
Colby
go to
about
Highbridge?
I gotta talk to Kobe about it now.
hey Courtney, you want to go to Highbridge and meet a mimic that mimics voices?
Oh my
Sure.
god, that shit's scary. In one of
That
our
shit-
investigations, we were at Highbridge, we heard Nevaeh's voice. Nevaeh was in North Carolina at the time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think I ran into one of those before.
Yeah.
That's great.
It said
Dad
my name
brought
there a
one
couple
home.
times.
Dad
Yeah,
brought home.
God, I just want to know where your dad has gone to so I can see if I can
I know he's went to Fort Ethan Allen.
Mm.
I think it's the Ethan Allen Homestead.
Yeah, I know that is.
He did the Ethan Allen Tower that's in Burlington at that
I know
the
exactly.
very
what
tall
you're talking
hill.
about. Yep.
He's done that one. He's done a lot though. I'll have to ask him what other
Right.
places.
Next podcast, we're having your father on. I'm kidding.
Yeah, if you can convince him, he probably would.
They don't have to drive anywhere, it's mobile. Just do this.
Yeah. He works in Essex.
Yeah.
He's a operation manager for Rent a Kill. He gets to kill rats and stuff.
Well, I hope this podcast has been at least somewhat, or at least this episode has been at least somewhat interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to shit on Cameron real quick, but when Cameron gave me the research topic, It was not very researched.
No, not at all.
And all it was like the overview, and he, instead of putting the poem in there, he put a link to the website where you can get the poem, and the appearance, and that was it.
I meant to put the poem in there. I need to know.
I should read that poem at my house at 3 a.m.
Yeah, go right ahead, Nate. Absolutely read that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tristen, I just remembered the dream I had last night, and
Yeah, go ahead.
that's something off camera.
Okay, all right.
That's something I'd rather not talk about, because now that we're talking about the Crooked Man and no, we're just gonna talk about on camera and suicide and stuff. I had a weird dream that we were at like work, and I don't even know who the person was, but someone like accidentally like cut one of my wrists, and I was bleeding throughout the entire dream.
What
Jesus.
Jeez,
Yeah, I just remembered that, because then you were like, "Oh, suicide, Crooked Man." And I'm like, "Fuck."
That's kind of
Jesus.
scary, man.
Well, no, I won't say that's, I'm gonna chalk that up to being coincidence, because this motherfucker stabs himself at work all the time on accident.
You know that
Yeah, that's me. This was someone else who accidentally cut me. I'm like, why am I dreaming about someone else cutting me?
That's a good question. Cameron, you gotta tell us anything?
You want to talk
I like
about
blood.
it?
You want to talk about it? What's going on in your mind? Too much. It all started on January 16th, 2001, the day I was born.
I already forgot the outro that I do for the podcast.
I forgot the outro that you do for the podcast. It's only the second one. Let's just watch Tristen think real quick.
I'll just come up with a random outro.
Go right ahead.
All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast episode. If you have any suggestions, you can reach us on Facebook at New England Paranormal Researchers. If you want to check out our investigations, you can go to our YouTube channel, New England Paranormal Researchers. If you want to watch the video version of this podcast episode, you can actually go to our other YouTube channel called Legends. Good luck finding that one. And I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys. Yeah, you guys got anything to say?
Goodbye.
Don't let the spirits get you.
Time.